All right, so looks like we are live now. Anyway, so this is pretty much kind of like my first trying to do a live stream while coding, which is really hard because if you make mistakes, then you're kind of done. So what I'm going to do here is basically try to code a Laravel SQL event logger. So first let's check if there are any packages available which can ease my job. If not, then we are going to do this on our own. Well, so I have tried some basic Google search and you can see I have this Laravel SQL logger here. And if you take a look at it, it says that if you want to log SQL queries, it will do that, which is pretty good. But the thing is, I don't want to log SQL queries. I want to log custom event. And when I go here, we have a custom event logger. And if you take a look at this is actually pretty good. You can just, you can have a debug here, which will be done here. Now, I don't know if this can actually put this in SQL or not. So, well, we have channels, log all, and different log level. Well, I mean, this is good, but I actually want to store everything in my SQL database so we can check it later. Okay, so what we have to do right here is to try and see if I can do that. Anyway, I have my XAMPP up and running, and which is how I can access my database here. And I also have a Laravel project up and running. This is actually a different project. The logger itself is kind of a component that I have to add there. So, yeah, we have a terminal here. Let's go to work, self project. This is something called as game app code. I have to open this game app server. All right, great. Once I'm done, I can just go to game app server and run PHP artisan serve. But before I do that, I have to actually create my models and everything that I need to ensure that the log is generated. Now, I'm actually not pretty good with Laravel. I mean, I am, but I kind of keep forgetting the command. So just bear with me. I think it has to be PHP artisan migrate or create model. Yeah, make colon model, and my model name is going to be logger. I will just name it custom logger. I don't want it to get confused with something that is already there. So custom logger dash dash migration, because I want a migration file. Hit enter and it says okay, can't find. It is artisan, not RTN. So this is what happens when you live stream code. You're kind of like what could go wrong, and you keep doing the wrong stuff. Well, now that I have this, we have custom logger. I want few field here, which is going to get interesting. The first thing that I want is an integer, and this is going to be like the ID. But since this is already going to create an ID field, I'm going to just name this as like user ID. Next thing that I want is kind of like type. Sorry, not type. Like the name is going to be type, but this is going to be like tiny text. So we have tiny and text. I really hope that this is the correct syntax. If it's not, I have to check here. And then I have like event. So event can be custom. This is going to be like text. And let me just check what it is. So let's go to and what I have to search for is Laravel eloquent columns. I think Code Grepper has a very nice solution. I have checked it sometime. Let's see. Cheat sheet. Doesn't look pretty good to me. So, all right, here. Let's just see. Nope. Okay, this is basically queries, not the ORM. I think it should be field types. Field types or columns. Come on, just do this to me quickly. All right, environment, log, URL. There's event, there's database, and there's query builder. Come on, just give it to me. Right? No, I just want this. No. So looks like it's time to actually dig into documentation. So let's go. Laravel column types. Hit enter. Let's go to Laravel. Okay, I don't want to go to migration. Sorry, I want to go to database. Go to get started. Then we have, well, come on. Let's go to eloquent ORM. Get started. And then we have table names, database connections, insert, update. Well, let's go to introduction. Come on. I remember I actually had something as such already placed with me for quick info. Come on. Wow, this is taking so much time, but I think I can just like this is what happens when you are trying to search for something when you're coding. If you don't know what you are actually searching for, like the correct term for it, then it's going to take a lot of time. Once you know what the term that you are looking for, like the exact term, you'll just get it pretty soon. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search it here itself, like this is integer. So like let's see if maybe like there's tiny integer, the string. Okay, I need string. So this is great. I will just change it. And then I need a tiny string. So I just hope it's somewhere. There's text, there's string. Come on. Right. So let's just go here. I'm just going to keep it as text. Sorry. This is text and this is tiny text. If there is an error, it will let me know. So, yep, let's just do that. I have to do PHP artisan migrate and let's see. Okay, this actually did it. Looks like I was right all along. Let me just check it. So, localhost / php my admin and we have, come on, test, and then we have custom loggers. Let's go to structure. So we have this as a big integer, timestamp, user ID is an integer. Okay, type is a tiny text and event is a text. So yep, good. If you take a look at it, we can like if we click an insert, you can see even this is pretty huge. I think this should have been just some string here, then it would have been better. Anyway, I will change it. I'll just make it string and just want it to have like 10 characters. And this is where the tricky part is, like the actual correct way to update something as this is to like create another migration which updates this migration. But I'm just going to take a simple easy way. I'll just go to custom loggers, I'll go to operations and delete the table. So yep, delete the table, drop, or actually since this is a string of type text, just go to structure, then I'll go to type, change it. I'll make this, come on, varchar of length 10, save it, and now it has updated. All right, the next thing that need is APIs. So there is that. I have to go back to terminal, clear PHP artisan make controller. I will be log controller, and I don't, should I create an dash dash API with this, like create, update, delete? No, just leave it like that. Save it, go to app, http controllers, we have a log controller here, done. In models, I have this custom model. So what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to copy all these fields and the custom logger. What we need is a dollar private. Okay, I don't remember the name. It's here, protected fillable, not private. So protected dollar fillable. This is an array of all the data that can be inserted in this model. So model, save it, and come on. Okay, sorry. This is okay. Then we have type, and at last we have integer table here, and all of them should have comma. So that's it pretty much. Now I can actually insert data in this custom logger. Once I've done this, I will go to my log controller, and we have like many controllers here if you take a look at it. So what I actually want to do is to import. So I'll just copy all of them, go to log controller, paste it here. Now I have request and this. Now I don't want to use this, but I want to use something called as custom logger. So we have custom logger. Next thing, I want a public function. and this is going to be like index, and here we want to return a lot of data. But what I also want is a public function which is going to be insert, pretty vague term I think, request and dollar request. Come on, where is dollar now? Dollar request. And okay, so I have to call this particular function with an API. So let's go to api.php, and okay, I'm going to get a post route, not port, post route for log, and this is going to come from log controller, and this is going to be insert. This doesn't need authentication, so that's some good, but I also need to import it. So let's copy it on the top and we paste it. Okay, so now that this is done, all I want to do here, like I kind of like going step by step. This ensures that whatever I'm trying to insert in here, what I'm trying to put is going, like, you know, like I don't write all the code at once and then run it, because then it's pretty hard to debug. So what I'm going to do here is simply say return, let's say welcome logger. I'm going to save it. Let's delete it. Go to terminal back, and we are going to say PHP artisan serve. Next, I want my post one up and running. Come on. To test my API. And here, come on, looks like I have some few stuff up and running. Let me just create like a new folder here. So add folder. This is going to be logger folder, and here I want a new route. Add a request, a request. It's going to be insert and localhost I should actually just use a variable that I've been using, z server slash and slash API slash log. Let's click on send, and obviously I'm going to get an error because this does not exist, but post does exist, so sending will give me a welcome logger. So I think I am pretty good here. Next thing that I want to do is to actually grab some data in the request. For that I want to use some kind of validation. So my dollar data is going to actually come from dollar request validate, and what I want to validate is, come on, few things. I want a type, okay, which is required. In the same way, true Morse data is required. I want a user ID, obviously. I want the type of the event, and I want the event itself. So save it and then just return the dollar data. Let's see what happens. Let's go back, click on send, and we are going to, okay, am I getting some error? All right, so the thing is that now I have to go to headers, and I have to add an accept of application/json. Let's send. So yeah, okay, now all this data is required. Something that I wanted, let's go to raw json. Now if I'm saying that I have some user ID which is going to be like, let's say 1. I have type which is going to be, let's say, like I have some custom types. I'm obviously not going to add all of them right here, but it could be anything. So let's say login, like a user has logged in, and then I have event. So now event could be anything, like let's say user 12 logged in. Now if I click on send, I get all this data in return. So we are pretty good here. Last thing that I want to do is to call my model, which is custom logger. Come on. Actually, I can just return this. So we have to return custom logger. Do I have a spelling mistake here? Like, okay, it's right. Colon. And so like insert, create, get. Just as I said, I keep getting confused. So, okay, not in here. All right, we have to use create. So colon, create, and with this data. And then we don't have this. Save, go back, send. Now we get this. So you see this data has actually been inserted into the database now. If we go back to Firefox, this custom loggers, and now we can see we have this one data item here, which is pretty good, right? This is what I needed. So we have a user ID, we have a type, event, updated, created at ID, and anything that I need. This ID is basically the log ID. This is the user ID. So let me just insert few more. So like this is 12, another something from 1, this is something from user 2, okay, and this event is going to be like, let's say log out, and let's say error, right? So now I have few data sets here. Okay, now let's go back here, let's go back to code, and let's start doing the index. When it comes to index, I just want to send latest data. So let's do return custom logger, come on, colon colon latest, save it. Let's go back, actually let's go back to API, and then I have a, let's like get log, and this is going to be index, save, go back here to postman, and now I just want to, like, duplicate it, and this is going to be like, get all latest. And then I mean, see, no, why the heck I don't have this? I want slash API, then slash log. All right, let's send. And we do have an issue, it says set contact. Okay, why am I setting header here? This is a get, and I have API slash log. All right, send. Must have type string, builder is given. Really, what am I given? What am I doing here? That's so wrong. So I'm saying return custom logger latest, and I have to do get. And now if I click on send, okay, we have all this data. You see, it's actually updated. I mean, it's sorted according to the time when it was put. So since ID 6 was the last one to be here, you see this is the first one here. And I also can limit it, which I really want to. Initially they're going to be so, like, not initially, but as soon as this is up and running, there are going to be so many log events. One event I want to update it to, limit it to like 50 points. As of now, this again is not going to have any effect, but you can check this by simply saying 1. Now if I click on send, you can see that we get only one event right here. So in simple terms, this is up and running. But what comes right now is the most interesting part out of all this, because now what we're going to do is I want to filter it. Like, I want to filter it as per user ID, as per type, and also as per date. But I don't want to create different routes for them. I just want to filter it based on the data provided. And this is kind of interesting, and I won't say new, but yeah, interesting for me. So let's say filter. All right. Now the filter is also going to get this all data. So we just copy this, put it here. Instead of sending all this data, I just want to just wait. I just want to wait for here. So what happens is that in filter, I pass some kind of body data, and based on the body data, we filter it, right? So let's go to Firefox, and let's say Laravel model filter based on body data. It's pretty straightforward Google search. Let's hope somebody answered me. All right, so we have something called a scope. Let's see. So name is so yeah, okay, it's you're using query scope to modify the query, so the return value is builder object. Yeah, okay, I get it. So basically this guy has the okay, this is again same. You see what's basically happening here is that I know what kind of value I'm looking for, so I get it from here. But what I want to do is that I don't even want to specify it. I just want to filter it based on whatever data is provided. And okay, let's see, can we attach relationship conditionally? Let's see. There's load comments, and okay, nope. Filtering data query for all commands in Laravel. Let's see. Okay, so turns out that's going to be pretty hard, and I mean, the amount of time that I'm going to waste in finding out how to do this, in less than that time I will actually end up coding something that I really should be using, that could basically do all the job. So let me just go back here, and I'm saying filter is there, but I have filter by event. Okay, so how this is going to work is that I'm going to just copy this, paste it here, remove it. I'm saying get all the latest data. The limit is 50, but before that I also want to say, sorry, limit is 50, and I'm also saying where, this is an interesting where clause. I'm saying event is equal to, the data is going to come from request event, but I just want to say as data because I want some kind of event. I don't want to give it some kind of error. So the data is going to come from $request and validate the data of request. The kind of validation I want is that event should be present. So we have event that is required. Okay, so let's see now what I'm going to get. Let's save, and this is going to come from data. Okay, now I can just go back to my api.php, and in my api.php, what I'm going to do is, okay, so we have get slash log slash filter slash event. I know it's kind of huge, but I have no problem with that. This is going to come from filter by event. I hope this is correct. So just copy this, close this, go here, come paste it, and now I'm going to go back to my postman, and then I'm saying duplicate it. Okay, now come on. Why is it not I think I'm not saving it. That's why when it's duplicating, it's not giving me this one. Just copy. So it's going to be log filter event send, and all right, so like there is some issue. Log filter event, so slash log slash filter slash event. Let me just give me a preview. Seriously, I have to go to like header accept application slash JSON, click on send. All right, so go to pretty, so this field is required. Completely fine. So let's go to raw, go to JSON, and I want event, sorry, and event is going to be, just put some random data here just to check. Like click on send, this is empty, great. If I click on like login send, it's again empty, which is not a good sign. So let's see what is basically happening here. I have so many login, which is type. Okay, sorry, this has to be type, not event. I will send it, just give me an error, which is why I have to go back to my code to fix it. The fix is that this is not event, this is actually type. So the thing is that this is going to use the same key value pair. Okay, this should be type, not that. Come on, now click on send again, and you see this is login, this is login, this is login. So I have 3 events here, and interestingly all of them are sorted as per time, something that I really want. So id 4 is before, then we have id 3, then we have id 2, and we have id 1. So basically we have 4 events. Anyway, no problem. So this type thing is working fine. Anyway, now what I think is that if I actually give it like some kind here, so that could also work. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try something. What I have to do here is we are going to have like key, then we're going to have like value. This is going to come from should it come from dollar data key? All right, let's do dollar data and key, and this will come from dollar data and value. Let's just see if it's working or not. So click on send, this is an error, completely fine, no problem. So if my key is going to be like type, let me just say, and my value is going to be like, let's say again login here, click on send, we have 4 3 2 1. Now I can actually simply tweak it to be like user ID, and I can just change this to like 1. Now when I click on send, this will actually give me all the events where the user ID is 1. Okay, great. If I do this 11, we get all the one with 11, which I don't think exists. Does 12 exist? Right, we have one with 12, and we also have one for like value 2. Okay, so okay, we have 2 for 2. All right, we have many for 2. How many like data point do I even have here? Let's refresh. All right, okay, sure. So okay, basically what I have is a very nice filtration available here. Don't even have to put it as an event now, it's just simple filter. Just go to api.php, remove it, and now when I click on send, this works very well. So yeah, interesting. What I also want to do is once check if this can be done or not. So like if created at, but you see when it comes to filtering it for time, I need things like greater than and equal to or less than and equal to, which is not the point here. I think this is pretty good, right? I have 3 things. I can insert an event, I can get all the latest event if I want, like 50 latest event, and this should be filter. and the filter is now custom. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, that's pretty much it from my side right now. I will try streaming something interesting next time.